Hey guys, here's your guys' quiz review. Okay, here's your guys' quiz review with basically in preparation for your guys' quiz. So, when it comes to adding or subtracting, you guys have to get the least common denominator, meaning the lowest common denominator that both of the denominators can go into. So, for number one, clearly, these two denominators are not the same. So you have to figure out what number can 2 go into and what number can 4 go into. And the answer to that, you guys, it's 4. The least common denominator is 4 because both of 2 and 4 can be divisible into 4. So this is 4, right? So that stays the same, but this one is not 4. So what can we multiply to get it to be 4? 2. But what you do to the bottom, you guys do to the top. So we get 6 over 4 plus 2 over 4, which is 8 over, remember, the common denominator with adding or subtracting still remains the same. And then 4 goes into 8, you guys, twice. And there is number 1. Number 2. Well, what number, to find the least common denominator, right? What number can 2 go into and 6? Well, the biggest number that both can go into is 6. That is the least common denominator. So, right, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So this is 6, so that's fine. We need to change this for that to become 6. So multiplying top and bottom by 3. 3 times 3 is 9 over 6 plus 5 over 6. And that is 14 over 6. Now you can simplify this fraction by dividing top and bottom by 2 for 7 over 3. Part 3. The least common denominator is 12. Both 12 can go into 12, which looks like this, you guys. 12 could go into 12, and 4 can also go into 12. I'll leave that there. So this is 12, so that's fine. This needs to be the same as that one, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by 3. 7 over 12 minus 9 over 12. 7 minus 9 is negative 2 all over 12. And you guys can simplify by dividing top and bottom by 2. Negative 1 over 6. 4. The least common denominator between 5 and 3, you guys. So what number can 5 go into and what number can 3 go into? Well, the answer would be 15. 5 can go into 15 3 times, 3 can go into 15 5 times. So, are these 15? No, so we have to get them to be 15. 5 times 3 will give us 15, so top and bottom. And 3 times 5 will get us 15, so top and bottom. 12 over 15 minus 5 over 15 to get 7 over 15. So that's your guys' adding and subtracting. Okay, multiplying and dividing. So to multiply and divide, you guys have to get, you guys have to cross cancel. You guys have to cancel to see. So we could cancel off the 3 and 15. Why? Because we can divide 3 and 15 both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3, you guys, is 5. We can also cross cancel 32 and 8, you guys, because top and bottom can be both divisible by 8. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 8 divided by 8 is 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 1 is 5. So the answer is 4/5. 6. 4, you guys, we can turn this to be a fraction, and now we could cross cancel. Well, we could cancel off the 4 and 24 because both could be divisible by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 24 divided by 4, you guys, is 6. So we're going to have 3 6, but you also can simplify this fraction, you guys, because you could divide top and bottom by 3 to get 1/2. 7. This division sign, we need to get rid of that. So copy down 42 over 5. You make the division sign multiplication now, and if you change it to multiplication, this flips, taking the reciprocal. And now we can cross cancel. 42 and 7, you guys, you can divide both by 7, so 42 divided by 7 is 6, 7 divided by 7 is 1. 15 and 5 can also cancel. 5 can go into 15 3 times, and 5 can go into 5 once. So when we're multiplying, 6 times 3 is 18, 1 times 1 is 1. 18 over 1, you guys, is just 18. Number 8, again, a division sign. So I'm going to rewrite this, change the division sign to multiplication, and take the reciprocal, flip it over. Okay, we could cross cancel. So this 56, you guys, and this 6, they both could be divisible by 2. 56 divided by 2 is 28, 6 divided by 2 is 3. The 4 and 12 can also cancel. You can divide both of them by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Multiply cross, 28 times 1 is 28, 3 times 3 is 9. So that is a conclusion of your guys' fractions. Now let's go to factoring. Okay, first of all, we know these aren't trinomials because I only see 2 terms for all of them. So when we factor, we have to factor out the greatest common factor. So break it down, right? Look at the coefficients first, which are the numbers or constants in the front of the variables. Then look at each variable and ask yourself, what can you factor from each part? So let's look at the numbers or the coefficients first, right? First off, there's a negative in the front. I already know I can factor out a negative. Now, between 50 and 15, you could divide both by 5. Now, let's keep on going. Look at the x variables. You can take away 2 x's from both. So x to the second. Look at the y's. You can factor out or take away 2 y's from both. So y to the second. Now remember, this is a reminder of what we are about to take away from this and this, or what we're about to factor out from those two. So, negative 50 divided by negative 5 is positive 10. We're taking away 2 x's. So if it was x to the fourth, you factor out x to the second, and all that's left is 2 x's, x to the second. This used to be y to the second. You factor out y to the second, or you take away, and if there's 2 y's here, but we take away 2 y's, you guys, then there's no y's. Now we do here. 15 divided by negative 5 is negative 3. This used to have 2 x's, but we took away 2 x's, so now no more x's. This had 3 y's. We factored out 2 y's, so there's only 1 y left over. And there's your guys' answer. You can always check your work by redistributing this back into here, you guys, to see if they match up with these two. That's another way you can also check your work. Number 10. Again, look at the coefficients and then each variable. 24 and 18. You can factor out a 6 from both. X and x. You can factor out 1x away from both. Y squared and y, you can factor out 1y from both. Okay, so remember, this is a reminder of what we're about to take away from these two. 24 divided by 6 is 4. X, you took away an x, so no more x. Y to the second, you took away a y out from it, so there's just 1 y left over. Okay, 18 divided by 6 is 3. This had x squared, 2 x's, but you took away an x, so just 1x. This had a y, you took away a y, so no more y, so your answer is 4y plus 3x. 6xy times 4y plus 3x. Again, you can always check your work by redistributing this back to both and seeing if they match up with the original. 11. So again, look at the coefficients first, right? 12 and 21. You can factor out a 3. Look at the x variables, right? You can take away 3 x's from both, so x to the third. Y squared and y to the fourth. You can take away 2 y's, y to the second. Z third and z, you can take away 1 z. So again, reminder, this is a reminder of what we're about to factor out from both of those. 12 divided by 3 is 4. X to the 6, you took away 3 x's, so x to the third. Y to the second, you took away 2 y's, so that's just no y's. Z to the third, you took away a z, so just z to the second. Now we gotta do this one, right? 21 divided by 3, 7. This had 3 x's, you factored out 3 x's, so no more x's. This had y to the fourth, you took away 2 of the y's, so it's now y to the second. And this had a z, you took away a z, so no more z, so that is our answer. And again, you can distribute this to both to see if you guys match up your answers with that. Okay, so there's factoring by GCF. Now let's factor trinomials, right? A is 1, B is negative 17, C is 72. X method, A times C up top, B on the bottom, so we got 72, negative 17. The two numbers that multiply to the top, but when added give you guys the bottom, is negative 8 and negative 9. Now this is crucial. A is equals to 1, right? And when A is equals to 1, then you guys can use this shortcut. Those are going to be part of our factors. X minus 8 times x minus 9. Again, that only happens when A is equals to 1. Let's look at 13. You should always ask yourself this question. Can you factor out something from each term? Yes. You can factor out a 2. X to the second minus 7x minus 30. Now let's write down your A value. Your A value, guys, is not 2 anymore. Your A value is right there, which is A is equals to 1. B is equal to negative 7. C is equal to negative 30. X method. I'm going to drag this down so that I don't forget to write this. So negative 30, A times C, right? B value, which is negative 7. Two numbers that multiply to the top, but when added give you guys the bottom. That's negative 10 and positive 3. And look, A is equals to 1, right? So since A is equals to 1, we just have to use these as part of our factors. 2 times x minus 10, x plus 3. 14. Okay, there's a 4 in the front, but is there something you guys can factor out from each term? And yes, you guys can factor out a 4. 4 divided by 4, x squared. Negative 32 divided by 4, negative 8x. 48 divided by 4, 12. And now, our A value is 1, our B is negative 8, and our C is 12. Let's drop this down, because we know it will be part of our answer later on. So, A times C is 12. B is 8, negative 8. The two numbers I multiplied to 12, but when added give you guys negative 8 is negative 2 and negative 6. And since A is equals to 1, these are going to be part of your guys' factors. X minus 2, x minus 6. Okay, and those are your guys' factors when A is equals to 1. Now let's look at our last three. 15. Okay, nothing can factor out from any of these. So we have A equals 6, B equals negative 23, and C equals negative 4. X method. A times C is negative 24, B value is negative 23. The two numbers that multiply to negative 24, but when added gives you guys negative 23, that's negative 24 and 1. Since A is greater than 1, right? A is greater than 1, you have to factor by grouping. Write down the first term. Remember, this middle term, you guys, become these two terms, so negative 24. Don't forget to add on the x, and a 1x, you guys, which is just positive x. And then don't forget to write down your guys' last term, negative 4. And then we do our grouping method. Factor out a 6x from the first term. Right? And again, this is a reminder what you can factor out. 6 divided by 6 is 1. You took away an x from here, so just 1x. Negative 24, you guys, divided by 6 is negative 4, and you took away its x away, right? So no more x. So there's that one. This grouping, because you cannot factor out anything from x or negative 4, the only thing you can put then is a plus 1. X minus 4. And look, you guys, they match. So that means x minus 4 times 6x plus 1. 16. You cannot factor out something from each term. So a equals 5, b equals 13, and c equals 8. A times c is up top for 40, and b is 13. The two numbers I multiplied at the top, but when added, give you guys the bottom, is 8 and 5. And don't you guys agree a is greater than 1? That's not 1, right? So we got to factor by grouping. Write down the first term, so 5x squared. The two middle terms, which is plus, remember to add the variables, 8x plus 5x, and then the last term, plus 8. Oops. We group. From the first group, nothing can go into 5 and 8, but you guys can factor out an x from both of them. So we took away an x from both, so just 5x plus 8. Here, there is nothing you guys can factor out, so we just have to put a plus 1 on the outside. Now look, these match, so factor out what matches, 5x plus 8, and then the leftovers, x plus the 1. Okay, last problem, 17. Okay, is there a number you can factor out from 6, 9, and 42? Yes, you can factor out a 3 from both, all. 6 divided by 3, 2x squared. 9 divided by 3, 3x. Negative 42 divided by 3, 14. So now a equals 2, b equals 3, and c equals negative 14. I'm going to drag this problem below so that we remember it. X method, you guys. A times c is negative 28, and the bottom, your b value, is 3. The two numbers that multiply the top, but when I give you guys the bottom, is 7 and negative 4. And a is greater than 1. Look, and now you have to factor by grouping. Write down the first term, 2x squared. Write down the two middle terms, which is plus, don't forget the variable, 7x minus 4x, and don't forget to write down the last term, minus 14. So we factor this by grouping. From the first group, you can only factor out an x from both. From the second group, you can factor out, first of all, a negative sign and a 2. A 2 goes into 4 and negative 14. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 7x. Negative 14. No, sorry. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is a positive 2x. Negative 14 divided by negative 2, you guys, is positive 7. And look, they match. So in terms of factoring, 2x plus 7, and the leftover is x minus t. And I hope this helps you guys out, and please make sure you guys do this without your notes and calculator use, and just practice and study up, okay? Good luck, everyone. Peace.